Can you hear me okay? One second, I'll just get this.
Hi.
I can hear you now, yeah. You okay?
Yeah, good. How are you?
I'm not too bad, not too bad, yeah. It's at least it's not too hot today, after yesterday, so.
Oh God, it is here. It's still really hot today.
Are you in England or?
Yeah, I'm in Gloucestershire.
Oh, right, okay. I'm in, I should know, shouldn't I? 11, South Wales, Marcross, which is about 20 miles west of Cardiff.
Oh wow. So yeah, not that far.
No, but it's, yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
it's not as warm here anyway, so it's quite cool, so thankfully.
Oh wow, yeah, no, it's still like really, really humid here.
Right, okay. At least you're well anyway. At least you're at home, you're not out and about working or anything, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, cool. Did Nicole say, do you want to record this, or is it okay to record as a video, or did she say?
Yeah, I don't mind. That's fine.
Do you want to, I'm just going to, can you see because yours is portrait. Do you want to turn it landscape, or do you want to keep it portrait? I'm happy, whatever's easy for you.
I don't mind, whatever you prefer. Oh, it's harder to get it to stay up that way.
Well, sorry, honestly, whatever's easy for you. If it's a faff, then
Yeah.
oh, that's fine.
Okay?
Yeah, it's fine. Fine. All right. Thank you for taking my interview.
Sure.
I've listened to the new EP Haven. It's a rather apt title and song, the 5 songs, because obviously I know it was recorded before. Well, last year, was it? Was it 2019?
Yeah, exactly.
But obviously it could be relative to what's been going on in the last few months because we're all stuck at home.
Yeah.
So you obviously it must have a crystal ball to see in the future, you know.
I think it was just I just had a baby, and I think that when you in that initial kind of bit after having a baby, when you've got a really tiny newborn, you're in a kind of quarantine in a way. A different kind of quarantine, but you're kind of you lock down, don't you, as a family, and everything becomes really simple, and everything just becomes about that new baby and kind of getting them settled in and your new routine and you kind of everything it's like everything's kind of wiped clean, and so yeah, that's what I was experiencing last year after having the baby, and we moved house just before, so we kind of moved into this new house, had the baby very soon afterwards, and then just like kind of locked down and had this really special time and felt this kind of real connection to the house and to being at home, and I felt this kind of very strong sense of being home, and I don't know if that's like a nesting instinct or something, but I just had this like incredible sense of like being in the right place, being in our house, being home, like all being together. And it was just a really special kind of moment. And then, and that's why we ended up recording all of the music at home. And, because I just wanted it all to kind of be part of that space and that kind of haven that I felt we were in.
So all 5 were recorded in the house?
All 5 were recorded in the house, yeah, exactly. And what was so nice about doing it at home was just using the space in different ways and kind of we set up mics kind of outside. So we recorded it all in the kind of main, there's like a drawing room. It's an old Georgian house. And but then like drawing room, we recorded in the hallway just outside. So you're kind of listening in, almost like imagining that you're kind of just outside of the room, and then and then as you kind of come into the next track, it should hopefully feel like you're within the room, and the kind of warmth and the richness. And I just and it was, and we recorded lots of ambient sounds and lots of just kind of wild tracks of the room, and we lit the fire and recorded it, and we went into the garden, we listened, just the bird song is amazing here, and so we had lots of that we could put in, and so it felt like a really nice kind of immersion into the space. Yeah,
because when I listened to the drawing room, the first track on there, you could hear the birds, because where I live is quite rural, so I'm listening to it, I'm thinking, the bird's too loud, because I've got a few birds nesting, outside of the. And I kept turning up, and I'm thinking, the bird's too loud. And then obviously when you listen, you know that there are birds which you added to it.
Yeah.
Which I just think it gives that warm feeling of being at home, isn't it? And it's just.
Yeah, I love that kind of feeling of windows being open and hearing the outside, and being outside and hearing the sound of piano. And I love just that feeling of kind of sound traveling.
And with the tracks on the EP, I know obviously you've got your history as well. You're an actor or actress, and then obviously you follow the path into music. Do you are you one of these composers and musicians where you picture the cinematic elements of the music, or do you just write the music and then maybe you can see where it could go into maybe on a TV program or film or an advert? Because I know in the past you've done adverts, and you've done obviously Mary Shelley, you've done the film, but for this, how did you get in the mindset? Well, did you have the idea? Were you always thinking, this could work well? Which I think all five could work well on any film, any TV show, any sort of advert. But was that sort of the back of your mind when you were sort of composing these?
No, not really. Because I think that when I write my own stuff, so with the EPs that I've done, I tend to. I think I do write with a narrative, like a general narrative of kind of the story of the EP. And Visitors was about a kind of, a big empty house, that no one lived in. And then I guess that I kind of told the story through the characters that I had imagined had been there. And then through this one felt to me like the full house, the house full of love and full of life. And then, so I did have that kind of loose narrative in my head. And I think I need to write to some kind of narrative, but with the films, it's very much to the picture, and like just writing almost to spec, like to the picture, to the specific cues, and like using the film as my guide, So it's kind of like a different way of writing completely, I guess. But yeah, no, it'd be great. I always love it if something that you've written outside of that, gets used, or if somebody wants to uses it in something, that's always like a bonus, because it just gives it a new life. Yeah.
Have you been approached already for any of these, or if you can say, or can't you say, or not?
No, I haven't.
No? Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm surprised. Anyway, maybe this around the corner. So, but no. Some of my favorite tracks of yours were, I think it was Eve and Mary before. Was it Eve and Mary?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Going back about 2 or 3 years, I think it was. Wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like that. Well, so the Eve was the one that got me into film scoring, because that was the track that I based all of the score for Mum's List around, because the director Neil loved that track, and he and then so that became kind of one of the main themes in the film, and then we built the score around that. So it was an important track.
Okay. And how did you, not how did you, when did you sort of discover your passion for music? Because I know you at university you studied, was it history or something like that?
I was gonna do history of art, but I didn't actually go in the end, because I was I kind of deferred my place, and I never ended up going, sadly. Okay. But I'd always been musical, I guess, and I'd always written music and loved, played the piano since I was tiny, and it was always like a huge part of my identity and who I was. But it was a weird thing. It became like my sanctuary. So it became like the piano was like the thing I kind of went to, and the thing I did that was like my own thing, my private thing. So I kind of never even considered the idea of, sharing it or putting it out there, or, and also I'm not classically trained. And I honestly just thought that like a huge kind of swathe of the industry was just closed down to me, because I wasn't classically trained. And it was only later on that I kind of discovered that actually that's not the case, and that there are lots of there are lots of people who have the exact same background as me, and can that it's open, and that it's but it just didn't, when I was growing up I just didn't think that it was. So I kind of I guess just thought, well, I've kind of got my limits with that, and it's just something that's for me, and it's for my own private kind of joy. And then but I guess I just, as I got older, I just realized, and especially once I had children, I just felt like if I was going to be doing something, and something that takes me away from them, or it has to be your passion and your joy, the thing that brings you joy, and the thing that makes you feel the most yourself, and feel, you know, safe and understood, and that's what music always was for me. So I think that I got kind of braver once I had my children, and I just wanted to show them, you know, that I was doing something that I loved, and be a kind of, try and be an example to them.
Because your parents were or both are actors, obviously. So I presume they didn't push you towards that, but if you saw that they were both acting, then it may have give you sort of, I don't know, I can't think of the word, but, you know, motivation, you know, to follow suit.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was just, you know, it kind of was just the family business, I guess, and it was just like a natural step, and it, you know, lots of my mum's friends were actors. I grew up around it. It just felt like a kind of, it just felt, like a, you know, I didn't really question it, to be honest. And I started when I was about 15, 16. So it just was something that I was just kind of doing. And then it was only as I got older and I was in my 20s that it just wasn't, I wasn't, you know, it just wasn't a good fit for me. It never really was, to be honest. But, and I had, you know, amazing experiences, and I feel really lucky to have done what I did, but it was like, it was just getting less and less. It was just more and more uncomfortable, and I just felt that I was on the wrong road and on the wrong path, and so I kind of retreated.
So your dad's, he's a musician as well, isn't he? Because I know obviously he's an actor, but obviously he's a musician.
Yeah, he's a great guitarist. He's a really brilliant guitarist. Yeah. So
he's obviously happy for you, the music that you've been creating over the last, say, 9, 10, 11 years.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
And with you did a project called Slow Moving Millie. You have to write it down. I say, is that finished with, or is that something you might toy with it in the future, or was that completely gone now?
Yeah, no, I think it's funny, and I always kind of I was thinking about this the other day, and I was thinking, you know, because of the whole kind of Slow Moving Millie and that name, and because it was like a kind of side project, and it was almost like an experiment, and I think I could kind of explore it like under that name and under that thing, and it was because again it just wasn't where I naturally felt I was the space that I should be in. But when these opportunities come, and I was incredibly lucky to do the John Lewis advert, and then these opportunities came, and you know, you kind of have to see what happens with those things. But again, it just wasn't, it wasn't the right fit. And by that point, I'd already started kind of doing some stuff to picture, and I'd done a couple of short films and a couple of commercials that were just instrumental and more classical. And I was really kind of getting a taste for that. And I felt very much that being pulled, and that was the way I needed to go.
And on Avon, on the EP, which of the 5 tracks means the most to you, you know, emotionally? Which of the 5?
I think probably, it's a good question. I would say it's probably We Came Home, I think, is the one that's like the most I probably have a strongest connection to, or but also For Love, but that in a different way. Like that to me is just very joyful, and it kind of really encapsulates like that time for me, and it's almost quite which I really like, and so I'd say probably those 2.
Right. Okay. No, sorry. The phone went. The signal just went all funny then. So I did get your.
Did it go weird?
Yeah, it's just you froze on me. So if anyone's, it's fine. I can see your face, but
am I still frozen?
You're still.
Oh no.
1 second. I can edit this down. Don't worry. Yeah, you've I've only got a couple of questions anyway. So. Can you see me okay? I can see it. No.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Okay, so I've just gone on my 4G instead.
Okay. You've gone that way. I can sort of.
Gone weird. Hang on.
Yeah.
Was I that way before?
That's it. Yeah. Don't worry, I'll edit this down. Don't worry. That's much better. That's a better picture, actually. Much better. So maybe the Wi-Fi at home is not so good.
Wi-Fi in the countryside is just so bad.
Yeah. For me around here, we can't get mobile signal at all.
Right.
It's just Wi-Fi. So anyway,
yeah.
I was going to ask you a question. Who, for me, some of my favorite sort of music's, I say not similar to you, but on a par, similar to you, is it would be like Penguin Cafe. You've heard of Penguin Cafe, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you should look into them. Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's identical, and it's not, but it's on a. For me, it is. Yeah, as a fan, I like your music, and I like Penguin Cafe, and there's. Have you heard of Seagull Rose? The Icelandic group, which
yeah. Oh my god, I love them. Yeah.
So
yeah.
Would you say they?
Oh, I think I do know Penguin.
Arthur Jeffers.
Yes. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll ask you the question again. So, the question was going to be, I'll edit it all down. My question is going to be so what sort of music inspires you? Would you be the likes of, say, somebody like Seagull Rose or Penguin Cafe?
Yeah, I mean, I love both of those. Sigur Rós was one of like those kind of seminal moments when I discovered them, and I remember it was actually a really long time ago, and I was still acting, and I think I was in Australia, and I must have been about 20 or 21.
Okay.
And I just remember someone played it in the car, and I think it was like their first album, and I just never had anything like it, and I remember it just completely stopped me in my tracks, and I listened to that to them so much in my 20s, and I still they're just incredible. And then in terms of like inspiration, I mean, I listen to a lot of like Hauschka, and I listen to Max Richter and Johan Johansson, and lots of that kind of slightly minimalist, beautiful, often piano based music, and Dustin O'Halloran, and so there's but then I also just listen to loads and loads of different music as well. I love electronic music, and I really like folk music, and I mean, there's nothing that I love hip hop. I listen to everything. I'm a complete magpie with music. I love all genres, and I'll kind of bounce between all of them.
Yeah. So maybe in any future music you make, you might bring an element to, say, some of what you just talked about, some of the dance, or would you not get on the path of doing any dance type tracks? Or
do I'd love to. I really like the idea of it. I really like the idea of doing stuff like Oliver Arnold's band Kiosmos, and there's those kind of slightly more and there's a great band that I love called the Grand Brothers, and they're all kind of piano, but it's it's kind of dance as well.
Yeah.
So it's a genre that I really, really like, and I would love to explore at some point that kind of world. I'm not. I guess I'm slightly not. I think you have to be really good at the technical side and the kind of programming side, which I'm not. I'm still not. I've still got a lot to learn in that area, so it wouldn't be the most kind of the easiest thing, but I think it's something I'd really like to learn more about.
And how do you sort of write music then? Is it something you do, you just put yourself away in a room, or do you just you must be out and about, maybe shopping, and you sort of think of something and then just write it down? Or is it, how do you sort of what's your...
Yeah, it depends. I mean, if I'm working on something specific, so if I'm working on a film, or then it is just kind of cue by cue, or like piece by piece. I'll just be kind of sat trying to make something work, then make, you know, or I'll kind of not even be watching the film and just think about it. Or sometimes I even get something just from reading the script and write a theme will come out of it, or a kind of motif or something. And then yeah, often exactly what you said, I'll be out shopping or in the supermarket, and then I'll have my phone and I'll have to do a little voice note where I'm kind of humming something. And I have all of these very weird voice notes on my phone, because sometimes you'll just get an idea when you're out on a walk or, you know, in the middle of something.
And how's lockdown been for you guys then? Has it been something, you know, you've been you've been spoiled because you've been allowed to be more creative at home, or has it been driving you crazy with the kids being around and your husband maybe?
No, it's actually been great. It's been a really great time, and I felt really creative, and I've managed to, you know, have a lot of time to kind of create, because I guess it's so easy to just pack your day with all of these things that actually when you take all those things away, you just have all of this time, you know, that you can be doing. And I think I'll often be kind of a procrastinator, so I'll often almost deliberately fill my day with things, so it means that I don't have to sit at the piano or kind of whereas it's just been brilliant to have all of that stripped away and have it really, really simple. And then also to have you know, my husband home the whole time. It's just been incredible. So we've both been here, and the kids have just loved it, and they're really young, so the homeschooling hasn't been too too challenging, and like, you know, we can slightly pick and choose, and, you know, it's not been, I think, you know, it's harder if you've got kids who are further up in the school and they really, you know, need to be doing that. So we've had a really nice time, actually.
So Daddy's probably just put him to let him have a nap in the afternoon. He's gone for a nap himself, maybe.
With the baby.
Yeah. And lastly, do you have any plans to maybe go on tour later in the year when things are back to normal, or next year?
No, I don't. I haven't. I've never done that. I've never played live at all. It's just something I really have a real terror of it, to be honest. But it's something that I'm, you know, I will at some point. I had a really lovely experience. I think it was last year, where the London Contemporary Orchestra played some pieces of mine, and that was just like incredible, because I didn't have to do anything and I could just watch it. But it did make me think, actually, I would like to do some kind of small tour where I play. Get very nervous with that kind of thing.
Right. Okay. I'm surprised, because I've been an actor, you know, like maybe on stage then. But yeah.
Well, but I wasn't a happy actor. You know, I was very uncomfortable acting. So I think that the two things. I think that was my issue with acting was that I didn't enjoy that element of like performance. I find I really struggle with it. So so it's kind of, I think maybe you either have that or you don't, or maybe you can learn. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, well, fingers crossed. In the future, I will get to see you on the stage, you know, on a tour. So fingers crossed.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
But thank you, Amelia. I really appreciate your time, and all the best.
Oh, no, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you like it. Thank you.
No, I do, really do. It's been on. I have to do my research, so yeah. But it's been on non-stop for the last couple of days. So yeah.
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
But thank you. For me, the highlight is Fable. I like Fable.
Oh, really? Oh, that's so nice to hear. Yeah.
Yeah,
funny. Actually, a couple of my friends have said that as well. That's they think that's the kind of the one that really pops out for them.
Yeah, for me, I mean, obviously everyone's got their own personal choice, but yeah. For me. And then Drawing Room, it's just stripped back, isn't it? And especially with the birds, I think that's
it's really simple.
Yeah, but it's beautiful though. It's beautiful. But thank you for your time. Thank you for the EP, you know, creating it, and again, fingers crossed I get to see you in concert. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to get there. I will do it. I will. All right. Nice one. Okay. Well, thank you. Thanks, Amelia. Thank you.
You.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye.